Dr. Ifeanyi Okowa. I could see from a distance the Deputy Governor of Edo State is also here. Saturday is the D-Day, and this is more like a preparation of what is expected to happen. The PDP prides itself as the umbrella party, and that is the bold statement it is making here in a state where there are also other contenders for the #1 position, the #1 seat in Bayelsa State. That is talking about Creek Haven, which is the seat of power in Bayelsa. My name is Ovieteme George. Welcome to Oxbow Lake in Yenagoa, the Bayelsa State capital.
Power to the people. Power to the youth.
Your Excellency, the Vice Presidential Candidate of the People's Democratic Party, our governors, our leaders that are here, my fellow youth. Today I'm very proud, happy, and impressed with this unprecedented gathering of the people of Bayelsa State. This is a strong signal, not even to the people of Bayelsa State, but indeed to the world, that Bayelsa have taken direction of continuity. Today, unfortunately for all Nigerians, APC have destroyed Nigeria politically, economically, and socially. For that, I want you to know that every Nigeria across the world is ashamed of identifying himself as Nigeria because of the APC. I want to use this medium to appeal to you to vote for the PDP this coming Saturday. All what we are seeing under the APC administration are contrary to the dreams of our founding fathers. They have failed Nigerians. Our founding fathers dreamed of a peaceful Nigeria, a Nigeria that is united, a Nigeria that is secured. For that, I appeal to you to come out en masse and vote for Governor Doyin Diri for continuity. PDP!
Power to the people.
PDP!
Power to the people.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, National Youth Leader.
At the Oxbow Lake area, we just heard from the National Youth Leader of the People's Democratic Party. Once again, I would like to let you know that what the PDP is doing here today is seeking continuity in office, continuity in power. Well, of course, the man who has been going around with the People's Democratic Party for their campaigns culminating today is my colleague Theophilus Agidi. How has it been, the campaigns? Where have they been going to in the 8 local government areas of Bayelsa State?
Well, Mr. Ovieteme George, it has been a very long campaign which started from Brass and today is culminating in Yenagoa, the Bayelsa State capital. Not less than 150 communities were visited by the governor and his campaign team, and today is, like you rightly said, is a combination of a direct engagement between the governor and the people ahead of the Saturday's governorship election.
So, Theophilus, how was it like out there in the creeks, in the hinterlands, in rain and in shine, campaigning?
Well, you can say that the reception for the governor was very, very enthusiastic. We saw large crowds of party supporters. Even the creeks, you go to places like as far-flung as Brass, you see crowd of people turning up to show their support. So it's been a large support base for the governor. Even to today, we haven't seen a very, very big one.
Well, we'll have to come
Hello and welcome to Clearview News Desk. We are reaching you live from Nigeria's capital city, Abuja. First, the headlines. All candidates in Kogi governorship election signed the peace accord ahead of Saturday polls. Mohbad's father had no choice but to hate me as I detested his idea of bringing different women to my matrimonial home. So declares wife of the late singer, Omowumi. Bauchi traditional healer in police net after shooting a man dead during a test run of bulletproof charm. I am Gloria Atta with these and more. Welcome. All candidates in Kogi governorship election have signed the peace accord ahead of Saturday's polls. At the event, the former Archbishop of Abuja Catholic Diocese, Cardinal John Onaikan, called on all key actors to embrace peace, unity and understanding so as to have a free and fair exercise. He also called on the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, to redeem its image by conducting credible polls. All candidates participating in Saturday's election, the Inspector General of Police, some deputy governorship candidates and other key representatives were in attendance.
Opportunity to exercise their franchise as citizens and to renew their social contract with the ruling elite. They have the highest stake in the elections. The next group, of course, there is the contestants who are offering themselves through their political parties for service of the people. They are to present themselves to be voted for, not impose themselves or grab power by all means. And finally, there is the government institutions. I said three categories: the people, the contestants, and the government. The government institutions with varying responsibilities for ensuring a free, fair, and credible election. Most important is the government of the day, with the primary responsibility to maintain good order. Even in an election, the government belongs to all citizens and should not be partial or biased, for that would be gross injustice.
Kogi has an unenviable history of electoral violence. During the last governorship election in 2019, many people were abducted while others were killed. The Inspector General of Police, Olukayode Egbetokun, says the duty of the police to be neutral and ensure peaceful and credible governorship election in Bayelsa State is sacrosanct, and the police are committed to it without compromise. IGP Olukayode gave the assurance when he paid a courtesy visit to the governor, Doyediri, this Monday at Government House, Yenagoa. With the off-cycle election just a few days away, Nigeria's Inspector General of Police paid a visit to Bayelsa State to assess the security position of the state and also to meet with stakeholders. He visited the governor at Creek Haven, assuring him and the people a level playing field.
The police and other security agencies have taken a position to be neutral in this election. Our job is to provide security for the election. The police has responsibility to protect the rights of all citizens, including the right to free democratic expression in election of public officials. This duty is sacrosanct, and we are committed to discharging these duties without fear or favor. Our officers have been trained before we are deploying them for election.
The governor expressed hope that the police chiefs will help restore the confidence of the people and add to the security architecture of the state.
We are very, very ready to work with you very closely as a government and even provide support where you ask for, to ensure that we do not lose anyone's life and we do not have anybody maimed because of elections. The more we have the police, the more we have the military, it will actually underscore the fact that our voters, rather than having apathy, will actually turn out thinking that they are safe in the presence of the military and the police.
This is the maiden visit of the IGP since his appointment as the country's 22nd Inspector General of Police, and he promised never to compromise on his mandate of protecting lives and property of Nigerians. Away from the elections, the Senate has called on tertiary institutions, TED Fund, as well as ethics, privileges and public petitions to look into curtailing the practice of undisclosed admissions and other unwholesome practices by JAMB and universities, particularly the University of Nigeria, Nsukka. Clearview's Eunice Ella Eze reports that the motion, which was sponsored by Senator Nweboyi Onyeka, representing Ebonyi North Senatorial District, noted that JAMB later expanded to include regulating admissions into higher or tertiary educational institutions in Nigeria, prompting the change of nomenclature of the entrance examination from UME to the Unified Tertiary Matriculation Examination to include entrance into Nigerian universities, polytechnics, monotechnics, and colleges of education. The senator also expressed worries that the provisional admission practice is being used as a malicious tool to exploit and frustrate intelligent young Nigerians who are children and wards of ordinary people seeking admission into Nigerian universities.
JAMB has its own reputation, so the discussing and particularizing it could tend to give the international community that something is questionable about the certificates from University of Nigeria, which we all respect. It has given birth to so many universities, including the one I went to, which was the University of Calabar. So I think the Latin phraseology applies here, which is Audi autem patem. Let the other side be heard. If it is the view of the Senate that we refer the entirety of this petition or this motion, particularly the contents of the prayers, to two committees. One committee on tertiary education and the second one committee on public petition, jointly to do a thorough investigation, revert to this Senate in 2 weeks so that we can do a holistic job.
The Senate, at its Tuesday plenary, has called on the federal government to urgently ensure enforcement of federal character principle, curb loop-sidedness, and emerging infractions in the recruitment and deployment of officers by the Federal Civil Service Commission. Clearview's Eunice Ella Eze was there and now tells us more.
The motion, which was sponsored by Senator Zam Titus Tatiege, representing Benue Northwest, noted that the Federal Civil Service Commission was established with the responsibility of recruitment and deployment of officers with requisite qualifications into the Federal Civil Service. Concerned that it is counterproductive to favor certain groups and not consistent with the Commission's vision seem to have recently crept into the Commission as allegations of illegal recruitment or employment into the service is being reported.
The problem of illegal employment into the Federal Civil Service. Speaking on this issue with journalists in July, ahead of 2023 Civil Service Week, the head of Service of the Federation, Dr. Folachade Yemi Esan, announced that the federal government has discovered about 1,618 civil servants with fake employment letters. Further, he thought that whereas introduction of IPPIS was meant to curtail and ultimately eliminate illegalities in the civil service in terms of human resource and payroll management. Human factor in its application seems to be jeopardizing this noble objective of government. Regret also that employees of government are capitalizing on insider abuse to undermine the efficiency of the IPPIS and to perpetrate unwholesome activities, resulting in cases of salary pardons, post sales in the government payrolls, among others.
The Senate regrets that this debilitating syndrome has permeated the ministries, departments and agencies, that virtually no ministries seem to be insulated from this ugly trend. Also that employees of government are capitalizing on insider abuse to undermine the efficiency of the IPPIS and to perpetrate unwholesome activities, resulting in cases of salary pardon, ghost names in government payrolls, amongst others.
We made it alive. This was the chorus of Nigerian journalist Nteng Ekpang after security release from the clutches of kidnappers in Kogi State. Nteng, who was traveling from Cross River State 8 days ago, was inside a Akwa Ibom transport bus when the daredevil struck. He was released alongside other passengers, including an intending couple billed to marry last Saturday. Observers are, however, still puzzled why the driver of the vehicle was not kidnapped but left untouched.
8 grueling, 8 tormenting, 8 very heart-wrenching, 8 and I like the words to say, but the point is I survived the kidnappers then. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Today is Wednesday, so I got to Ajokuta at about 2 a.m. Right now I'm free, yeah. So for all those who said prayers for us, God bless you, thank you. It was horrendous. Those guys are daredevils. I remember them spanking me on my back. I remember them pointing a gun at me and stuff like that. But you know what? We made it alive.
Mrs. Omowumi Aloba, wife of deceased singer Ilerioluwa Aloba, also known as Mohbad, on Tuesday told a coroner's court that Mohbad's father was fond of bringing different women to her matrimonial home on several occasions and that her own mother caught him on one of the occasions. Omowumi said Mohbad, who was always away from home, got to know about it and told his father not to bring women to his place again. She said Mohbad's father resented her and became hostile towards her because he thought she was driving a wedge between him and his son. Omowumi also revealed that her relationship with her father-in-law went awry shortly after she gave birth to her son, Liam. She told the coroner, Magistrate Adedayo Shotobi, that Mohbad's father became angry with her because the late singer decided not to hold Liam's naming ceremony in Ikorodu. Omowumi said Mohbad's father accused her of being behind the late singer's decision to go against his wish to hold the ceremony in the town. Omowumi also said her husband was humiliated, harassed and bullied many times by his friends and members of Malian Records, his record label, before his death. She testified during the coroner's inquest into the death of her husband. The singer died on September 12 at the age of 27 and was buried the following day. His death had generated controversies, prompting the Lagos state government to order a coroner's inquest into his death. The inquest, which began on October 13, is taking place at the Ikorodu Magistrates Court. A man has been shot dead in Nigeria's northeastern Bauchi state, while a so-called bulletproof charm or gun medicine was being tested on him by a traditional ruler. Police spokesman Ahmed Wakil said the healer, who allegedly fired the shot with a locally made gun, has been arrested along with 2 other suspects, while other suspects are on the run. The test on the efficacy of the gun medicine occurred on 43-year-old villager Muhammadu Ali. Police rushed to the scene as soon as they heard of the shooting and took Ali to the hospital, but he was pronounced dead on arrival. The suspects will be charged to court after investigations are concluded. Charms believed to have magic powers are commonly used in Nigeria, where many people consult traditional healers over a wide variety of issues, but there have been several reports of people being killed after testing so-called bulletproof charms and medicines. Meanwhile, a secondary school teacher in Ogun State, Lateef Olaniran, has been arrested for allegedly raping a young lady. Olaniran, a native of Ikpokia local government area of Ogun State, is a mathematics teacher of Ebenezer Grammar School, Iberekado, Abeokuta. The State Commissioner for Women Affairs, Adijat Olaleye, disclosed this Wednesday. According to her, Olaniran was arrested on Saturday when a member of her team got a call from a young lady reporting that she had been raped by a man. The commissioner said the ministry swung into action and located the victim, whom she said went to a laboratory for different tests before she was later led to the police station to make a report. Adeleye stated that when they got into the compound of the suspect, they heard a girl's cry for help. And with the support of the police, they were able to arrest Mr. Olaniran Lateef Adewale. The commissioner added that the girl was crying in the teacher's room during his arrest. Also accused him of forcibly having sexual intercourse with her and threatening to kill her if she does not ask her family to send him money. If you are just joining us, you're watching the news on Clearview News Desk. When we come back, we bring you stories on women and children. Stay with us.
The news continues now with stories from our area of specialization, women and children. After the main transmission of our news, we rebroadcast on our YouTube page, Clearview TV. Do you operate a women or children's NGO? Are you at the helm of affairs of a government establishment or a corporate organization involved in the affairs of women and children? Then you are our partners in progress. We have a mission to better the lot of our women and children. Join us to celebrate womanhood and work assiduously to better the lot of the Nigerian child. This is our mission.
Welcome back. In the past, a person's choice of spouse was decided upon by their families, as arranged marriages were a common trend in most traditional African settings. However, with the growing evolution and technological advancements, things have changed, and individuals now find and select their spouse with little or no interference from their families. But despite this, the country continues to experience a high rate of divorce. Clearview News correspondent sought the opinions of some Abuja residents on whether or not this practice should be encouraged in relationships.
Recently, news have been making the rounds that a 2-day-old marriage hit the rocks after the newly wedded husband filed for divorce, citing his wife's nasty behavior towards his mom. It was gathered that a fight ensued between the bride and her mother-in-law over food meant for her parents. The mother-in-law approached her daughter-in-law and discreetly requested some of the food to share with guests who had traveled from a distance. However, the bride firmly refused, insisting that the food was meant solely for her parents. This resulted in a verbal and physical exchange between both parties. According to many observers, these issues may be far deeper than the fights that ensued at the wedding reception. They are of the opinion that these issues may have been checked if the bride was properly screened and approved by the groom's family. Some decades back, arranged marriages were a common tradition in various societies. The groom and bride were selected by the parents or relations rather than through the partner's mutual choice. They were usually subjected to serious background, spiritual and mental checks before they proceeded to be joined legally. However, the story today is different, as individuals find and select their own spouses without parents interfering. But despite this freedom, there appears to be growing cases of broken marriages in recent times compared to the past. This has therefore brought the burning question back to the fore. Should parents have a say on who their children marry?
parents must understand that they are not the ones getting married. You are the one getting married. So you need to choose somebody you can live with, somebody you can be excited about. Not parents choosing for their children or their wards, guardians choosing for their wards who they should marry. And at the end of the day, they struggle and they put the blame on the parents or guardians. They say, this is not the person I wanted to marry. If I had married the person I wanted to marry, things would have been successful. And then it also helps, it also increases divorce rates, which is not a good thing.
These are evil days. You just have to know the family your children, your daughter, or your son is going into. There's what they call continuity, and there's what they call, a gene. There's a certain way that a mother behaves that eventually, if care is not taken, the daughter will follow the footstep. That is a fact. The gene is there. If you have this, there are some women that even common arguments in their family, they are already threatening the husband that want to pack out. If you have that nonchalant attitude, that free will, that who can stop me attitude, most definitely your child, your daughter might have such. And so you have to look at the background of where your daughter or your son is going into.
Honestly, parents shouldn't be involved in choosing spouses for their children because it's very, very dangerous. Because the children will be at the receiving end. And marriage is not something that you are in today and tomorrow you are out. It's not a cloth you wear. But in a situation where you can't help it, can you die for love? You can't. So you have to move out.
In our culture, we know that your parents had to consent to whoever you want to get married to. For a parent to say, no, I don't want this person, I wouldn't want, you have to first listen. But if at the end you see that what their reasons are not really what you are looking at, their reasons are maybe based on their own personal interest, because most times where it comes in is their own personal interest, not the interest of the child, then I think the people involved have to seek a spiritual advice and then know how to go about it.
Anything that has to do with forever, lifetime, it's not something you just have to just jump in. If I have somebody that wants to get married to me and I know, okay, I feel I can actually spend forever with this person, definitely I'm going to involve my parents. And whatever they say, sincerely speaking, I will go with it. Because most times our parents see beyond what we are seeing.
My parents don't have a say for me because I'm an adult, so I know what is good for me, I know what is right for me. So what they're supposed to do is to advise me not to follow the wrong way or not to follow the kind of spouse that won't take care of me, that won't treat me right.
Varying as the opinions may be, these street parliamentarians say couples can navigate through and build a successful home if they love and show commitment towards making their union.
The two-day stakeholders validation workshop on the situation analysis for women's health in Nigeria project is organized by Pathfinder International in Abuja to provide opportunity for key stakeholders in enforcing the main findings and provide strategic advice on the project approach and implementation, and possibly recommend the development of a scorecard. Clearview's Florence Joshua brings us details.
Pathfinder International, with support from Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, launched the Voices for Women's Health Advocacy, which is to deepen awareness and advance the health rights of women in Nigeria. The campaign included a high-level meeting that brought together representatives from the government, CSOs, development partners, members of the diplomatic community, youth, disability organizations, and various stakeholders, including the private sector, to support, promote, and intensify as they strengthen and amplify solution-oriented advocacy around women and the Girl-Child Agency from a rights perspective.
Situational analysis of the state of women's health in Nigeria, and the goal was to develop a scorecard that would be able to use to measure the progress that Nigeria is making, and also be able to hold the relevant stakeholders accountable for their commitment towards improving women's health in Nigeria. That implementing partners, there are a lot of collaborations from the international body and NGOs and the likes. So we know that a lot is being done, which is why we need to be able to assess how far we've gone, and also be able to develop a scorecard to measure the progress and know who to hold responsible, to hold the government accountable, for their commitments and be able to measure, okay, we are making progress or we're not.
For the health agenda and profiling, not just for the Nigerian woman, but for our communities. Because through every woman, healthy woman, we have a healthy community. We have healthy families. We have happier, healthier families, communities, and engagements. It's also a demonstration of resilient commitment to a cause.
Pathfinder International Country Director on Nigeria, Amina Aminu Oroyi, says, as part of effort to keep the advocacy momentum for the I Commit campaign, Pathfinder is carrying out a solution analysis and subsequently a scorecard on women's health. The situation analysis and women's health scorecard are to systematically assess various aspects of women's health with their reaching goal of promoting accountability, transparency, and improvement in policies, programs, and services related to women's health. It will be used to support advocacy for the empowerment of women in Nigeria towards establishing an accountability framework for assessing the effectiveness of gender mainstreaming.
The aim is actually to look at a broader overview of the women's health ecosystem, women's health agenda, not only one particular area of focus. And when we say women's health, it's really broad. We're looking at the different elements to say which indicators can we take that are general indicators that will say we will assess and ensure that we use this particular scorecard to actually advocate to state governments, to the federal government, to say this is where we are. Any area that we have maybe a red or a yellow means that we need to have progress, because in order for us to meet the Sustainable Development Goals, SDGs, we need to invest in women's health. We need to invest in any action or any step that will ensure that we get closer to achieving, the SDGs, which includes poverty alleviation and, health and well-being, gender equality, for example.
Pathfinder International, a non-profit organization, collaborates closely with partners around the world to offer life-saving maternal, newborn, and reproductive health care, integrate health and environmental risk to address the holistic needs of communities and reach the most vulnerable populations, including those who have been displaced due to conflict and natural disaster. Florence Joshua, reporting for Clearview News Desk.
And that's the news. But before we go, a recap of the top stories.
All candidates in Kogi governorship election have signed a peace accord ahead of Saturday polls. At the event, former Archbishop of Abuja Catholic Diocese, Cardinal John Onayekon, called on all key actors to embrace peace, unity, and understanding so as to have a free and fair exercise. Mrs. Omowumi Aloba, wife of deceased singer Ilerioluwa Aloba, also known as Mohbad, has told a coroner's court that Mohbad's father was fond of bringing different women to her matrimonial home, and he resented her and became hostile towards her because he thought she was driving a wedge between him and his son. We also told you that a man has been shot dead in Bauchi State while bulletproof charm or gun medicine was being tested on him by a traditional healer. Police spokesman Ahmed Wakil said the healer who allegedly fired the shot with a locally made gun has been arrested along with 2 other suspects, while others are on the run.
You can follow up on latest events and happenings around you via our social media platforms on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube at Clearview News Desk, or via our handle on X, formerly known as Twitter, at Clearview Online. Many thanks for joining us. I am Gloria Atta. Bye for now.
Thank you for joining us again on the News Hour on Biscon Television. I'm Stella Opara. First, the headlines. On the national scene, High Court grants ex-city and Governor Godwin Emefiele bail. LP, PDP governorship candidates stage walkout at INEC stakeholders meeting. In business news, over $700 million remain trapped in Nigeria, says foreign airlines. On the foreign scene, Saudi Arabia to host Arab and Islamic summits to discuss Gaza conflict. And in the weather sport, stakeholders for secret concession of Lagos Stadium wants transparency. Now the news in full. Justice Olukayode Adeniyi of the Federal Capital Territory High Court has granted former governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, Godwin Emefiele, bail. The judge ordered that Emefiele be released immediately to his lawyers, who were charged with the responsibility of producing him in court for his arraignment next week or at any other day. According to the judge, the ex-bank chief must also deposit his travel documents before the chief registrar of the court, pending his arraignment. The judge also pointed out that there must be an end to detention without trial. The court must also not overlook the fact that he has been in detention for 151 days, and the federal government and the Attorney General of the Federation must abide by court orders. The substantive motion and notice as well as a preliminary objection were adjourned to November 17, 2023 for hearing. Now, Akwa Ibom State Governor Umo Eno has described as spurious and unfounded the allegations of controversial appropriations in the 2023 supplementary budget. They said his administration will remain focused on delivering dividends of good governance to the people of the state, in line with the Arise agenda. Policy Alert, a non-governmental organization committed to the promotion of fiscal and ecological justice in the Niger Delta region, has highlighted some controversial appropriations made in the state 2023 supplementary budget. The Akwa Ibom State House of Assembly in September passed a supplementary budget of 150 billion naira in addition to 700 billion naira earlier approved, bringing the total revised budget to 850 billion naira for the 2023 fiscal year. A release signed by Policy Alert's Program Officer, Fiscal Reforms and Anti-Corruption, Faith Paulinus, said an analysis of the supplementary budget reveals that a bulk of the capital expenditure on the supplementary budget was made on projects already inaugurated by the past administration. But fielding questions from newsmen at the Victor Atta International Airport before departing for an official engagement outside the state, the governor reaffirmed his resolve to pursue the implementation of his development blueprint and positively touch people's lives. Now, less than a week before the Imo State governorship election, the candidates of the People's Democratic Party and Labour Party, Senators Samuel Anyanwu and Athan Achonu, have staged a walkout at stakeholders meeting organized by the Independent National Electoral Commission. The candidates had registered their grievances to the electoral body to press home the demands for the redeployment of the State Resident Electoral Commissioner, Professor Silva Agu. Tuesday's meeting was part of INEC's interactions with the governorship candidates, security agencies, the media, civil society organizations, and other stakeholders ahead of the November 11 poll. The INEC chairman, Mahmoud Yakubu, was represented by the National Commissioner representing Southeast, Kenneth Ukeagu. After Ukeagu ordered journalists to turn off their cameras and gadgets and leave the hall, Labour Party's deputy governorship candidate, Mr. Tony Nwulu, and that of PDP, Jones Onyeriri, who represented their flag bearers and other officials of the opposition political parties, vehemently opposed the directive. The situation then threw the meeting into a commotion in Owerri, the Imo State capital. The duo insisted that the press, as critical stakeholders, could not be excluded from the meeting. Now in Bayelsa State, in a bid to seek re-election in Bayelsa State, Governor Doye of the People's Democratic Party has visited several communities in the Yenagoa local government area of the state. During the campaign, Dewey paid a visit to the former deputy and acting governor of Bayelsa State, Right Honorable Warenipre Seibarugu. Seibarugu, who defected back to the People's Democratic Party, has asked all his supporters to vote for the governor at the forthcoming November 11 election. Governor Dewey and his deputy, Lawrence Erujapo, commissioned a multi-billion-naira ultra-modern new finance house in Yenagoa local government area of the state. The Minister of Works and Infrastructure for the state, Surveyor Moses Tebowe, gave a brief description of the offices and facilities in the new Bayelsa State Finance House. According to report, the building, which was supposed to be completed in 12 months, was completed in a record of 10 months. The Taraba State Governor, Abu Kefas, who was also present at the commissioning, officially cut off the tape to declare Bayelsa State Finance House building open. We'll take a short break now. When we come back, we'll bring you business news. Stay tuned. Welcome back to Biscon TV News. Now to business news. Foreign airlines have disclosed that about 90% of their $783 million trapped funds have not been paid. The airlines stated this during a stakeholders forum convened by the Minister of Aviation and Aerospace Development, Festus Keyamo, in Lagos recently. According to data from the International Air Transport Association, as of August 2023, Nigeria accounted for a substantial $783 million of airlines blocked funds. Despite recent efforts to alleviate the situation, the airline said a significant portion of those funds remained inaccessible to them. The chairman of International Airline Operators, Mr. Chima Kingsley, emphasized that while international banks had received some funds from the Central Bank of Nigeria, that only accounted for a fraction, less than 10% of the trapped funds. The bulk of the blocked funds are with Nigerian commercial banks. The bulk of the money has not been paid, he said. Domestic carriers represented by the chairman of United Nigeria Airlines, Obiora Okonkwo, highlighted their struggles with trapped funds and limited access to forex impacting their operations. Keyamo assured stakeholders that efforts were underway to address the forex challenge. While the minister did not disclose the exact disbursement figures, he reiterated the government's commitment to resolving the issue in the coming weeks, offering a glimmer of hope for the airlines grappling with financial constraints. Up next is foreign news. We'll bring the details shortly. Welcome back. Now to foreign news. Saudi Arabia will host summits of Arab and Islamic nations in coming days to discuss the Israeli-Palestinian conflict, Saudi Arabia's investment minister Khalid Al-Fali said. In the short term, the objective of bringing these three summits and other gatherings under the leadership of Saudi Arabia would be to drive towards peaceful resolution of the conflict, he added. Iranian President Ibrahim Raisi will travel to Saudi Arabia on Sunday for the Organization of Islamic Cooperation Summit, Newsline reported, the first visit by an Iranian head of state since Tehran and Riyadh ended years of hostilities under a China-brokered deal in March. Fali also said Saudi Arabia would convene a summit with African nations without specifying a date. He further added that Saudi Arabia's Foreign Affairs Ministry had issued a statement saying that meeting, which had been set for the weekend, would be postponed in order to focus on the other two sides. We're due for another short break, and when we return, we'll bring you sports news. Stay tuned. Welcome back to Biscon TV News. Now to the world of sport. Aggrieved stakeholders in the sports sector have cried out over what they termed a secret concession of the dilapidated National Stadium, Lagos. Immediately after his appointment as Minister of Sports Development, Senator John Eno lamented the state of the stadium, adding that the concession process to hand over the facility to the private sector had gone far. However, some stakeholders raised eyebrows over the move, saying the concession of the facility was shrouded in secrecy, adding it was a signal that the bidding for the takeover of the facility did not follow due process. Some others also sought to know when the bidding for the facility was advertised, who was involved and how transparent the process was. A source revealed that the only working facilities inside the stadium, like the tennis courts, boxing hostel, and Olympic-sized swimming pool, were courtesy of the private sector, adding that the individuals who spent large sums in bringing back these facilities to life were not carried along in the concession process. When asked the fate of investors in the stadium when it is finally concessioned, Director of Facilities, Ministry of Sports Development, Abolore Alanamu, said the ministry would sort it out. You're still watching Biscon TV News. Up next is entertainment news. Stay tuned. Welcome back. Now to entertainment news. Adire featuring Kehinde Bankole made its theatrical debut over the weekend, taking home a gross of 8 million naira. According to the Cinema Exhibitors Association of Nigeria, the film won studios features earnings between October 3 and 5, 2023, placed it in the third position on the Nigerian box office charts. Adire follows the life of a young female fashion entrepreneur played by Kehinde Bankole, who has a dark past of being a sex worker and must now contend with its consequences. It is solely created and written by Jack Kenneth Opukeme, who doubled as an actor in the film. Directed by Adeoluwa Owo, also known as Captain Dexy, the cast includes Femi Branch, Kelechi Udegbe, Funlola Aofiyebi Raimi, Ibrahim Chata, Yemi Black, Ivan Jegede, Lizzie J, Michael Folarin, among others. The latest records released show that Adire displaces Small Talk by Abiodun Stephen, which was in the third position as of last week, but is now fourth with 3.8 million naira. And that's it for now on the News Hour on Biscon Television, compiled and produced by Tomiloba Abolani. I'm Stella Opala. Thank you for watching.
Hello and welcome to your newspaper review today. I am Olakujo Ajidaba. Today on newspaper review, I'm going to begin with the Punch newspaper today, Wednesday, November 9, 2023, and for my first airline for the Punch, NNPCL unveils new crude grade, ships 1.9 million barrels. That's on page 24. Over $700 million remains trapped in Nigeria. You can read that on page 29. Foreign airlines. Nigerians lament as Canada suspends Abuja embassy operations, and you can read that on page 7. Off-season elections, crisis rocks peace meeting, NLC strike threatens Imo poll. Traditional rulers flee as parties bicker, Labour plans airport power shutdown. IG deploys new CPs 3 killed in Kogi as INEC rejects call to remove Imo wreck. To read about the off-season elections, you can read that on page 2. Battle for Bayelsa, Jonathan Dere Silva converts votes, and that's on page 7. 5 jailed for sharing Osun ex-speaker's nude video. That's on page 8. Certificate racketeering. Lagos Assembly probes lawsuit. You can read that on page 6. And for the last and final story about the Punch newspaper, Israel Hamas, Senate demand ceasefire. U.S. rejects Gaza occupation. That's the last story here, and that's on page 18. I'm moving on to the next newspaper for today's newspaper review, which is Tuesday newspaper, Wednesday, 8th in November 2023. And for the first headline for this day, NPA launches audacious $1.1 billion plan to rehabilitate 100-year-old Lincoln Island port. Others, and that's on page 9. It discloses 25-year port master plan, and that's in a bid to actually enhance trade competitiveness and west cargo from neighboring countries. And you can read that story on page 9. NNPC Eterel Venture launches new crude oil grade to compete in Europe. That's also on page 9. Cervical cancer. Nigeria governor's wives committed to tackling barriers, upscaling HPV vaccination in the country. And that's on page 41 to read about the cervical cancer. The Nigeria governor's wives committed to tackling barriers. That's on page 41. Labour commences indefinite strike in Imo State to shut down Owerri Airport, threatens to begin nationwide industrial action November 14. Adegbowura urges TEC, NLC to declare total strike. Says Tinubu administration has no regard for Labour. That's on page 9. You can read that story on page 9. Yakubu. Results of polling unit record of violence will not be counted. Imo, LP, PDP Guber candidate stage walkout during our next stakeholders meeting. Demand removal of resident electoral commissioner. Don't test our resolve. RG wants troublemakers in Bayelsa, Kogi, and Imo states. Orders restriction of movement on election day. Deployed left another time, says Jonathan. That's the former president of Nigeria. Good luck, Jonathan. And he's saying that Dewey deserves another term. And that's on page 43 and the last story for this newspaper. And I'll be moving on to New Telegraph today, Wednesday, November 8, 2023. And for the first story, the first headline for New Telegraph, oil production surge boosts external reserves by $214.4 million. That's on page 3. Power generation 85,000, highest since September 2022. That's on page 8. Terrorists use transport networks to perpetrate violence. That's according to the federal government, and that's on page 4. Plateau Senatorial State. PDP loses to APC's Lalong over refusal to boycott orders. That's on page 5. Labour declares total action against Imo at midnight to embark on nationwide strike November 14. That's on page 5. Nudge 6, creation of more local government, recommends reclassification based on status viability. That's on page 0. Saturday's Guber will nullify results where there's violence. That's according to INEC, says it will return to such PU for election. IGP bars quasi-security outfit from election duties, restricts vehicular movement, bans security escort from polling booths. 3 DIGs to take charge of security in Bayelsa, Imo, and Kogi State. To read about the Saturday's Guber, you can read that on pages 2 and 4. Market dynamics always viable for new fuel hike. That's according to Ipman. NNPCL launches new number grade for crude. You can read the story on pages 8 and 25. Lagos Guber Pearl. Appeal Court reserves judgment in LP PDP's appeal. That's on page 5 to read about the Lagos Guber Pearl. Court jails community leaders 5 years for leaking Osun ex-speaker's ritual video. That's on page 31. Senate probes lopsidedness in federal government recruitment deployment. condemns Israel-Palestine war, calls for two-state solution, advocates punishment for firearms misused by customs personnel. And that's on pages 3, 5, and 7. Reps vows to end terrorism financing money laundering. Obi urges Nigeria to join in tackling Africa's illicit financial flows. You can read that on pages 2 and 3. For the last story for New Telegraph study, Opus finger prick test detect brain tumors. That's on page 27. And the last story for New Telegraph. And I'll be moving on to the next newspaper for today's newspaper review. Vanguard newspaper today, Wednesday, November 8th, 2023. And I'll begin with the first headline. Oil and gas manufacturing gets 55.5% of loans in H1 23. That's on page 19. Ajero, NLC TUC declared nationwide strike November 14 if shutdown email stops flights, cuts electricity fuel supply. That's on page 25. And when already saw an agreement, VK declares, that's the FCT minister, Minister Wike, and that's on page 4. Naira Tinubu will shock currency speculators. Presidency says reorganization of banking sector coming for stable, stronger Naira. Targets bringing Naira value to 500 or 600. Top strategic priorities to push financial inclusion above 95%. CBN. Note financial inclusion currently stands at 64%. Pay greater attention to debt reduction instead of currency speculations. That's according to Dory, and that's on page 5 to see the story. NNPC ITO JV introduces Nimbe crude grade to oil markets in London. That's on page 4. Why Southwest governors ended political interference in Odua Group. That's according to that on page 8. We are placing strong constitutional obligation on the Nigerian government to finance education at all levels. The current situation whereby government has failed to achieve the minimum 26% of national budget or 4% of GDP funding threshold specified by UNESCO may continue. That's on page 22, and that's according to Babalola. For the sports section, the last section of the Vanguard newspaper, AJ, why I still live with my mom at 34, and that's on page 29. And you can read that on page 29. And from Joshua telling us why he still lives with his mom at the age of 34. And that's the last story for Vanguard newspaper. Now we're moving on to the next newspaper, the Guardian newspaper. Today, Wednesday, November 8th, 2023. And I'll begin with the first headline for the Guardian. 31 governors shun amendment, financial autonomy for state assemblies. That's on page 6. Federal government begins 40% revenue deduction from Nigerian universities. That's on page 3. Israel and mass war, Senate nudges federal government on ceasefire call. That's on page 6. NLC TUC threatening nationwide strike November 14. That's on page 3. Why coercive legislation may not return children to classrooms. And that's on page 4. Lagos Assembly summons Commissioner VC orders over certificate racketeering. And that's on page 5. For the last story for the Guardian, only 3 states score excellent in ICANN's audit ranking. And that's on page 3. And that's the final story for the Guardian newspaper. And I'll be moving on to the Nation newspaper. But before I continue with the Nation newspaper, we're going to a quick short break, and when we come back, continue with newspaper review. Stay with us. Welcome back. I begin with the Nation newspaper today, Wednesday, November 8th, 2023. And for the first headline for the Nation newspaper, federal government shocker soon for dollar, naira speculators. That's on page 5. Airlines others to get forex backlog next week. Court strikes out Deputy Governor Aida Tiwa's suit. Senate goes tough on MDA's disrespect For resolutions, I can read the stories, 5 stories on pages 29 and 3. Emo, police, labor clash likely. That's on page 4, and the last story for the Nation newspaper. And I'll be moving on to Daily Trust newspaper today, Wednesday, November 8, 2023, and from the first headline for Daily Trust. Bill Court stacks Plateau PDP senator declares La Long winner. That's on page 3. Gas scarcity persists in Lagos, Kano orders as price remains unstable. That's on page 3. Firearms abuse, Senate indicts customs controllers in Katsina, Kaduna, Ogun. That's on page 6. 3 days to pause. Killings, attacks spike in Kogi, Imo, and Bayelsa. 3 killed as SDP chieftain attacked their talks. Police. IGP restricts movement, bars a Google, order Kwasi security outfits, and that's on page 4. War on Gaza, Senate calls for ceasefire, asks federal government to press for 2-state solution. You can read that story on page 6. Bandits kill 10 in Benue, 5 in Katsina, and that's on page 5. Kano Disco gets new owners, that's on page 20. Ajero, labor orders power shutdown, flight suspension in Imo, and the last and final story is on page 6. For the last newspaper for today's newspaper review, which is News Direct, on today, Wednesday, November 8, 2023, and for News Direct, Nigeria News Direct, I'll begin with the first off-cycle elections. IGP bars road of water transport movement in Imo, Kogi, and Bayelsa. Federal government approves 5 billion naira compensation for the defunct Nigeria Airways workers. That's on page 2. Again, fish sellers protest soaring prices. That's on page 2. Attack on Ajero. NLC TUC commence strike action in Imo today, threatening to embark on nationwide strike by November 14 if identity sack of 11,000 ghost workers, non-payment of pensioners' orders as reasons for strike. Subsidy payments rose to 400 billion naira monthly, gulped 3.7 billion naira in May 2023. That's according to NNPCL. That's on page 2. PMA, WCA, NPA launches a $1.1 billion port rehabilitation plan for enhanced trade competitiveness. That's on page 13. The last story, over 9 million Nigerians at risk of exclusion from National Identity Registry. That's on page, that's the last story, and that's on the back page. And that's the final story for Nigeria News Direct. And we've come to the end of newspaper review today. And many thanks for watching. Thank you for joining us. To see more, you can download the Biscon TV app on your Android devices or on your iOS devices. And you can also visit our YouTube channel to get all the latest updates you need. And I'll see you next time for another episode of Newspaper Review. I am Olapiju Ajeba. Have a nice day.
I'll also like to recognize His Excellency, Distinguished Senator Lawrence Irujakbo, supportive, successful, and workaholic Deputy Governor of Bayelsa State. To recognize His Excellency Philip Shuaibu, the Deputy Governor of Edo State. I'd like to recognize Her Excellency, the wife of the Governor of Bayelsa State, Ambassador Dr. Mrs. Gloria Bibomoduri. Let me also recognize Her Excellency, Mrs. Beatrice Lawrence Irujakbo, the wife of the Deputy Governor of Bayelsa State. Distinguished members of the National Assembly, I'd like to recognize very respectable senators and members of the House of Representatives that are. Let also recognize at this point members of the zonal executive of the PDP that are also here. I'd like to recognize, of course, the very, very distinguished presence of the former the immediate past Governor of Bayelsa State, Mr. Henry Seriake Dixon, the President Bayelsa West Republic. I'd also like to especially recognize the Governor of Sokoto State, Alhaji Aminu Waziri Tambuwal, who is now a member of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Speakers of Delta and State House of Assembly here present, members of the Bayelsa and Delta State House of Assembly, members of executive councils, Bayelsa, Delta and other states here present, party leaders at national and state level. Let me especially recognize very senior citizens, former deputy governors who are also here with us, invited guests. Of course, we also have here with us the immediate past governor of Delta State, the Ekweme one himself. Let's please put out together for Honorable Senator Ifeanyi Okowa, who is also here. Other party leaders, invited guests, great youths of Bayelsa State.
Great.
Great women of Bayelsa State.
Great.
Great men of Bayelsa State.
Great.
Gentlemen of the press, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. Today we are here for the grand finale of the PDP Bayelsa State governorship campaigns. And like you all know, like I told you earlier, we are indeed here to celebrate because we know victory is already in the bag. Isn't it? We never win, I mean we don't win. We're gonna clap on ourselves, clap on ourselves. Those of us who get flag, we can stay on our flag, wave on our flag, wave on our flag, wave on our flag, wave on our flag. May I? Thank you very much. At this point, Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to invite to formally welcome us to this grand event. No other person than the one we call the Chairman Puruku, the ever-winning chairman of the PDP Bayelsa State. Let's welcome Honorable Solomon Aguanana, the Chairman Puruku. Shall we put our hands together for him? PDP. Power to all our performing governors. Power to our national acting chairman of the party. Power to all the national officers. Power to all our National Assembly members.
PDP.
Power to our performing youths.
PDP.
Power to our performing women.
PDP.
Power to Bayelsa.
PDP.
Above all, power to the performing miracle governor.
PDP.
Well, I hereby now stand with the already established protocol. PDP, as you see today, is experiencing a moral rebirth in the state, courtesy of the miracle unifier. And as a party, we know that this party in Bayelsa is currently being governed by those that were chosen by God. And by the special grace of God, What we are seeing here is the currency of our party. Because the crowd that you are seeing here is not a crowd that is hired. It's quite organic, and they believed in the programs and projects of this administration. PDP is deep-rooted in Bayelsa. There is no way any other party will stand us. But what they did in 2019, we are aware of what happened. But as we speak today, PDP has regained all the lost grounds in 2019. Not so.
Not so.
Today, we are here again to show our strength of support for the party because of the wonderful work the governor and his team is doing. And Bayelsas are proud with what the miracle governor is doing. Bayelsas is at peace with what the miracle governor is doing. And that is why you see the show of strength and support. Well, we are aware that a date is coming, which is 11/2023, which is Saturday. Bayelsans already made a decision. His Excellencies, as we crisscross the campaign, as we crisscross this state in our campaigns, Bayelsans have resolved in all the communities, wards that we visited, they have resolved to return PDP back to power. They have done that, in fact, with their hearts and minds. They are just waiting for them to affirm the victory of Our Excellency come 11/11. Not so.
Not so.
So on that day, don't be deceived. I know that all of you that are here, you are here with your PVCs. We are ready to vote massively for the PDP on 11/11. 1, to sustain prosperity. 2, to sustain peace and security. 3, to sustain development that is traversing the entire state. Not so.
Not so.
So the people that are here are very wise. And I know that because the governor is running an inclusive government, we have cleared the entire house of the APC. APC is empty. They don't have anybody. All the leaders that for some reason left us before, they are back to the PDP to give us the required strength for us to win a landslide victory. So on that note, by the special grace of God, Your Excellencies, you are secured under the leadership of the miracle governor, working in cooperation with all our leaders. We will not disappoint you. The duty you are to perform for us is to ensure that all the institutions that will be playing a role in this election to do their bit according to what the Constitution empowers them to do, and nothing else. Thank God that we are alive. Thank God we are all seeing what the whole nation is seeing what we are doing in Bayelsa, and by the special grace of God, we will certainly record the expected victory. Thank you and welcome us all. God bless us all. Thank you very much.
Please put your hands together for our party chairman.
Thank you, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, Your Excellencies. That was the chairman of the People's Democratic Party in Bayelsa State, the man we refer to as Chairman Kuruku, Honorable Solomon Agwanana. Without further ado, Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, may I invite to also make remarks the Director General of the Bayelsa State Campaign Council, as a member of the Green Chambers, the House of Representatives, Honorable Chief Metema Obodo, FCM, popularly known as Atisio.
Prosperity government.
PDP.
Power to the PDP governor.
PDP.
Bayelsa Alua.
Yeah.
Bayelsa Alua.
Yeah.
His Excellency Governor Doyetri, a man in whom Bayelsans are well pleased. Your Excellencies, governors, elected on the platform of PDP, you are here in your numbers. We welcome you, we honor you, we appreciate you. Your Excellencies, senators who are here and other party leaders, Your Excellency, our national chairman, I respect you, and members of the National Working Committee. Let me do the part of safety before I make blunder of protocol by resting and adopting the protocol that is already well established. Your Excellency, let me on behalf of the Campaign Council join the State Chairman to welcome you all to today's grand finale and endorsement rally in honor of our candidate and his running mate. Let me specifically welcome our national chairman, Alhaji Umar Damagun, and all the National Working Committee members. In same vein, with utmost respect, I welcome all PDP governors, their deputies, and all other leaders of our party who are here today to grace this ceremony. Your Excellency, the Campaign Council, for which I lead, was inaugurated on the 25th of September, 2023. 4 days later, Your Excellency, we hit the ground running by commencing our grassroots-based campaigns from brass local government. I am happy to announce to you, our national chairman and party leaders, that all 8 local governments in Bayelsa State have been visited. And in each of these 8 local governments, not less than 15 communities were visited. Our campaigns were carnival-like because of the consensus that Bayelsans have made. Bayelsans have decided that our governor is doing very well and that Bayelsans are safe in the hands of Doye Diri and his running mate.
Now so.
Therefore, no doubt, we are returning him come 11/11/2023, that is this weekend. Bayelsans have also notably mentioned that there has been a massive infrastructural and human capital development turnaround in Bayelsa State. And above all, that we have a candidate who is humble, who is God-fearing, who have taken the unity of Bayelsa State as a project, and he has taken development of the grassroots, all the nooks and crannies of Bayelsa State, are now experiencing the dividends of democracy. And therefore, it is a consensus, no doubt, that Bayelsans have resolved to bring the governor back to power to yet serve us for another 4 years. Not be so.
Not so.
I want you all who are here, who are determined, who have resolved to bring back our governor, to please wave your hands. Just wave your hands.
Wave your handkerchief. Wave your handkerchief. Wave your flag.
Just make your noise.
Wave your hand. Wave everything for our governor.
Iwe scatter. Let me assure you that the man of peace that you know will not change. Rather, he will bring more and more development to you. Once again, I welcome our national chairman and leaders of our great party to Bayelsa State, with the assurance that our governor has done well, all aspects of government, from all facets of analysis. There is no basis for comparison between our governor and our candidates with any other candidate. He is poles away
from every other candidate. After all, the other candidates are not even qualified. Are they qualified? They are not qualified.
They are not.
I want to thank you for coming, and may God bless you all. Thank you.
PDP! Power to the people.
PDP!
Power to the people.
Power to the people!
PDP.
Power to the women!
PDP.
Power to the youths!
PDP.
Power to persons with disabilities!
PDP.
Power to Bayelsa State!
PDP.
Power to Doya Dairy!
PDP.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon, Your Excellencies. We all listening to the recognitions of our VIPs here present from the national. Permit me to state the protocol so we continue in earnest. I want to thank AB and Taribu for keeping this program running before the arrival of the national officers. Acting National Chairman of our great party, Ambassador Umar Iliadamagung, the Chairman of the Board of Trustees, and former Senate President, Senator Adolfo Swabara, Grand Commander of the Order of Niger, Chairman of the PDP National Campaign Council for Bayelsa 2023 and Executive Governor of Taraba State, His Excellency Dr. Abu Kefas, the candidate and the host governor. For the reason for why we are here today, His Excellency, the man that will continue for another term, Senator Doye Diri, the vice presidential candidate 2023 for the PDP, and immediate past governor of Delta State, Senator Dr. Ifeanyi Okowa, Commander of the Order of Niger. Other National Working Committee members here present, permit me to mention your son, who is the National Financial Secretary, Honorable Daniel Wayenkoro. Immediate past Sokoto State and Chairman of Nigeria's Governor Forum as well as PDP Governors Forum, His Excellency Right Honorable Aminu Waziri Tambuwal, Commander of the Federal Republic and also a member of the 10th Senate. We have governors of Delta State, His Excellency Right Honorable Sheriff Obariwari, the Governor of Akwa State, His Excellency Pastor Bayelsa State Chairman, of course, he has spoken to us. His name is Chairman Guruku. We have the Deputy Governor of Bayelsa State, His Excellency Senator Lawrence Erujapo, current and former principal officers of State Assembly, former governors, former ministers here present. I would like to mention the immediate past governor of Bayelsa State, His Excellency Seriaki Dixon of Ruma Pepe. Other members of the national and state campaign councils, religious and traditional rulers here present, gentlemen of the press, voters of Bayelsa State, ladies and gentlemen, once again, good afternoon and welcome to this program. I would like at this juncture to humbly invite to the microphone the chairman of the National Campaign Council and Governor of Taraba State, His Excellency Dr. Abu Kefas, for his remarks and opening.
Power to the people. Power to the people. PDP.
Your Excellency,
today as the chairman of the PDP National Campaign Council for Bayelsa State Governorship election to declare this occasion open for us to conclude the grand finale of our victory. I know that our governor is well loved by his people.
That's so.
Because he is a good man. And it is already established in the holy books that when the right people that have feelings for the poor people, that is concerned for the youth and women and people with disability, when they are in position, there will be prosperity and the people will live in peace. Whether you are from Bayelsa or from anywhere in the world. And our governor here is a symbol of what we are talking about. I know that everybody have done their part, and we can see in the sky that victory is sure.
100%.
So today, we are here to say to you people, Ado, the people of Bayelsa, Ado, welcome. You are well.
Welcome to the Oxbow Lake area of Swale, Yenagoa, the Bayelsa State capital. It is the grand finale of the Bayelsa People's Democratic Party governorship rally here in the glory of all lands. My name is Ovieteme George. After months of campaigns, the PDP will be winding up its campaigns here and afterwards strategize to return to the creeks and hinterlands of Yenagoa and creeks and hinterlands of Nembe, of Brass, of Ogbea, Kolokma Opokma, Southern Ijo, all the local government areas in preparation for Saturday's governorship election. Expectedly, I go out to witness this program. Present governors, Taraba, Delta, other states, including immediate past governors, even the vice presidential candidate of the People's Democratic Party in the presidential election, Senator Dr. Ifeanyi Okowa. I could see from a distance the deputy governor of Edo State is also here. Saturday is the D-Day, and this is more like a preparation of what is expected to happen. The PDP prides itself as the umbrella party, and that is the bold statement it is making here in a state where there are also other contenders for the #1 position, the #1 seat in Bayelsa State. That is talking about Creek Haven, which is the seat of power in Bayelsa. My name is Ovieteme George. Welcome to Oxbow Lake in Yenagoa, the Bayelsa State capital.
Power to the people. Power to the youth.
Vice presidential candidate of the People's Democratic Party, our governors, our leaders that are here, my fellow youth. Today I'm very proud, happy, and impressed with this unprecedented gathering of the people of Bayelsa State. This is a strong signal, not even to the people of Bayelsa State, but indeed to the world, that Bayelsa have taken direction of continuity. Today, unfortunately for all Nigerians, APC have destroyed Nigeria politically, economically, and socially. For that, I want you to know that every Nigeria across the world is ashamed of identifying himself as Nigeria because of the APC. I want to use this medium to appeal to you to vote for the PDP this coming Saturday. All what we are seeing under the APC administration is contrary to the dreams of our founding fathers. They have failed the Nigerians. Our founding fathers dreamed of a peaceful Nigeria, a Nigeria that is united, a Nigeria that is secured. For that, I appeal to you to come out en masse and vote for Governor Doyin Diri for continuity. PDP!
Power to the people!
PDP!
Power to the
Thank
people!
you.
Thank you very much, National Youth Leader.
At the Oxbow Lake area, we just heard from the National Youth Leader of the People's Democratic Party. Once again, I would like to let you know that what the PDP is doing here today is seeking continuity in office, continuity in power. But of course, the man who has been going around with the People's Democratic Party for their campaigns, culminating today, is my colleague, Theophilus Agidi. How has it been, the campaigns? Where have they been going to in the 8 local government areas of Bayelsa State?
Well, Mr. Vieteme George, it has been a very long campaign, which started from Brass and today is culminating in Yenagoa, the Bayelsa State capital. Not less than 150 communities were visited by the governor and his campaign team. And today is, like you rightly said, is a combination of a direct engagement between the governor and the people ahead of the Saturday's governorship election.
So, Theophilus, how was it like out there in the creeks, in the hinterlands, in rain and in shine, campaigning?
Well, you can say that the reception for the governor was very, very enthusiastic. We saw large crowds of party supporters. Even the creeks, you go to places like as far-flung as Brass, you see crowd of people turning up to show their support. So it's been a large support base for the governor. Even to today, you haven't seen a very, very big one.
Well, we'll have to come back to talk about this, but let's hear from the lady who is at the podium over there.
I want you to show them that it is true. We have the votes and we are going to bring our governor back to power. Your Excellency, I want to thank you on behalf of not only the women of Bayelsa State, but the country at large, because you have shown that you belong to everybody with the numerous opportunities that you have given to women in your state. I can assure you, Your Excellency, that if you give more opportunity to women, the sky is going to be your starting point. Your Excellency, I want to remind you that women are loyal. It is only women that will not backstab you. When you give opportunity to women, they will stand by you. They will not betray you. Therefore, I'm calling on you to give opportunity to women in your government, then you can go home and sleep with your eyes closed. Ladies, we sat with His Excellency and he has told us all the opportunities, all the things, more things he has planned for you. Therefore, we want you to bring him back so that he can start rolling down all those opportunities that he promised us. Having said that, I want to wish all of us a successful outing come Saturday and a very, very successful election. Thank you very much.
Bayelsa women,
to the people.
PDP.
Power to the people.
Power to Bayelsa State.
PDP.
Before I invite our leader for the goodwill message, I'd like to, by the kind permission of Your Excellencies, recognize the presence in our midst of a one-time acting governor of our state, Right Honorable Wayne Davidson Sebarogu.
Iwe.
Let me also recognize the Prosperity Youth Coalition who have been doing a wonderful job. Put your hands together for yourselves. And of course, the Prosperity Pilot Initiative led by Barrister Sudesia White and Austin Adigio. At this point, I'd like to invite the one I'll describe as a big fish. He nurtured, midwifed, propagated, and ensured Doyedu's emergence as governor of Bayelsa State. I'm talking about the great political tactician. Let's welcome to the microphone His Excellency, distinguished Senator Henry Seriake Dixon. Is going to speak on behalf of the people of the state. The great white shark. The great white shark. The Ofrima Pepe.
Ofrima Pepe Iwe. Our leader Iwe.
Thank you. Thank you. Before Chairman of Campaign Council, my dear friends, and Your Excellency, I would like to crave your indulgence, please, and for good reason. Let me invite our brother, Chief Ndutuma Laibe. Please come forward and do it.
Timi Alaibe Iwe.
Man.
The principal.
We are fathers, we are leaders, that's what we do. Before I make my brief remarks, greet your country people.
Power to the people.
Power
to the people.
Power to the people.
PDP.
Power to the women.
PDP.
Power to the youth.
PDP.
Your Excellency, thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. Your Excellency, Chairman of Campaign Council, Your Excellency, our miracle, hardworking and performing governor, let me recognize all the governors, deputy governors, their spouses, my colleagues from the National Assembly from Bayelsa State, who are also itching to say something I know, but on whose behalf I also speak now. And my dear brothers, party leaders, national chairman, all of you in no particular order. Anua, first of all, let me join the state chairman and the campaign DG, Obikwiti, and His Excellency, our governor and leader of our party, who will speak shortly hereafter. Let me join all of them to welcome the chairman of the Campaign Council, national chairman, and all the governors, performing PDP governors, their spouses, deputy governors, National Assembly leaders, and all of you who have found time to be in Bayelsa today. Let me also join the governor and the party chairman to thank all of you gathered here. Anoa, Ado, thank you. I will be very brief. I'll be very brief. You know that our party has performing governors, and from the beginning of our democracy till now, this state has had the rare privilege of being led by PDP governors. I was number 4. The governor, miracle governor, is number 5. And everywhere you go in our state, every corner you turn in our state, you will see the accumulated dividends of democracy in our state. Not be so?
Not so.
I don't know of any other thing that anyone else has done apart from the PDP governors who have led this state. And our governor is leading his team, consolidating on the peace and stability that were enthroned. Our governor is expanding and broadening the boundaries of development across the length and breadth of our state. I watched all of you, because when the governor came for my blessings and endorsement in my country home, a number of you were there. And I said, the coast is clear. Not so?
Not so.
2-3 weeks down the line, are you not seeing that the coast is clear?
Very clear.
And it will get clearer as we move forward.
Amen.
And the governor thereafter led his campaign because he had to be the face of his campaign. After 4 years, it's important for him to be the face of the campaign. And he went round everywhere. I want to also thank all of you, the chiefs and elders, women and youth, in all our communities, who gave rousing welcome and reception to the governor and the party and the campaign team. We thank all of you. The governor has tried his best, consolidating on what we did and starting his own course of development in different ways. Now he has gone around, he has interacted with you people. The governor has listened to all and he has seen all. And there's no doubt at all that in the next 4 years, if you renew his mandate, he's going to do more in Jesus' name.
Amen.
Now, you know that this is our canoe. You know everything. The governor and I were colleagues in the INC. The governor and I were colleagues in the cabinet of former President Jonathan. And the governor, when I became governor, served me as principal executive secretary, deputy chief of staff. And we sent him to House of Reps, sent him to the Senate. He got national exposure. And you see all of that on display. What of the deputy governor? Deputy governor, my essay as Attorney General. And as House of Reps, he was my SLA. 8 years Commissioner for Works. And you are all seeing what these two people have delivered and will continue to do. So even though you may not have seen me in the community campaigns, I made it clear from beginning that I was there in all the campaigns in spirit, and you saw it. These two people have tried, they have been tried, they have been tested, they have been proven, and they qualify for elevation. And you know, in the Joland, fathers don't deny children. We have no option. All of us, this is our party. The party that has given us great leaders from Chief Alamesia till now. The party that gave us one of our leaders became vice president, became president. That is our party. Is that not so?
Not so.
And it is on that party's platform, that our performing miracle governor was elected and is doing his own consolidating. So I want to join all that they have said and all the campaigns that were made in particular order. And I endorse their candidature once again. Yesterday, the party elders met and we have re-endorsed and reaffirmed our support for them. So I want to thank all of you because we know that the coast is clear.
Yes.
Home in peace. And let me add, before I sit as one of the leaders of this state, that this state has a tradition of peace, security, stability, and development. And I want to once again add my voice, lend my voice to the call for free and fair and transparent, respectable elections. I want to call on the agencies, the security agencies, all of them, to continue to do what they are doing, provide law and order, protect the citizens of our state, protect the poor people in our communities and in our local areas, everywhere in our state. We will troop out en masse to cast their ballot. And I have no doubt that this state, being a state of great leaders, decent leaders, we have no doubt that the outcome will be generally acceptable. And we are confident that our party, once again, will lead the way. I thank you all as you go back to prepare. Go in peace, and may God grant all our heart desires in Jesus' name.
Amen.
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 PDP.
Power to the people.
Power to the people. Of course, we all know that campaign rallies are associated with speeches of solidarity. On behalf of the National Assembly of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, we invite former Speaker of House of Representatives, immediate past Governor of Sokoto State's two-term, and also a member of the 10th Senate. He's also immediate past Chairman of Nigeria's Governors Forum, PDP Governors Forum. I am talking about the giant in our midst, a political colossus, His Excellency Right Honorable Aminu Waziri Tambuwal, Commander of the Federal Republic. We also invite his other members here present to stand with him. Thank you.
PDP!
Power to the people.
Power to the people!
PDP.
Power to the youth!
PDP.
Power to the women!
PDP.
The national chairman of our great party and members of the National Working Committee, the governor of Taraba State and chairman of the campaign council, our candidate, our brother, in whom we are very well pleased, the governor of Bayelsa State, distinguished Senator Due Diri, and his deputy, all other governors here present, our immediate past governor of Delta State, and the running mate, our candidate in 2023 presidential election, Senator Ifeanyi Okowa, members of the National Assembly here present, distinguished leaders of our party, party leaders, party supporters, the great people of Bayelsa State. On behalf of my colleagues from the National Assembly, that you can see are here in large numbers, and who were also colleagues at some point to your governor and his deputy, we're here to give our testimony on the character and the capacity of your Governor, distinguished Senator Diodiri, and his deputy. For me, I've been to Bayelsa State. I've seen the works of this team in Bayelsa. I've not only seen the works, I've commissioned projects in Bayelsa State. I therefore am in a very good position to give this testimony that Governor Diodiri and his team are doing well in Bayelsa. No be so?
Na so.
No be so?
Na so.
Now, as I said, one good term deserves
another.
One good term deserves
another.
Diodiri is doing well. Support him, his deputy, and their team. Continue good work they are doing in Bayelsa for the peaceful coexistence in Bayelsa and for continued prosperity. On how been out Bayelsa State and in Nigeria. And Nigeria's youth. On this note, I therefore, on behalf of our colleagues, those who are here absent, recommend highly Governor Diri and indeed the team in Bayelsa for another term. God bless. PDP!
Power to the
people. Thank you very much. God bless you.
Thank you very much. That was His Excellency, Distinguished Senator Aminu Tambowa. Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, the atmosphere here at the Oxbow Lake Pavilion Swale trickle. That is because and they are out here in their numbers as we affirm the fact that Governor come 2024. May I at this point, Your Excellency, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, invite to speak on behalf of the governors, and he'll be here with his colleagues, the governors of the states who are here. The governor of Edo State, His Excellency Godwin Obaseki, a man who is taking the people of Edo State higher and higher. Please, a round of applause for him as he comes with other governors.
PDP!
Power to the people.
I know here now. PDP!
Power to the people.
Eyes on!
Yeah.
Thank you. Our brother who we have come here to support, the very Senator Diodiri, the current governor of Bayelsa State, who by the grace of God will continue to be governor of Bayelsa State.
Amen.
This afternoon, we have, on behalf of the governors of the PDP, come to extend our support to all of you in Bayelsa State. We are not here to tell you about your governor. You know him already. We are here to come and thank you for giving him to us and plead with you that we want to continue to have him in our forum because he is a good man. He is a good leader. He is a good organizer. We work very closely together in our zone, South-South zone. I can tell you personally that as Governor Diri has sent no less than 4 teams from Bayelsa State to Edo State to work with us on different aspects of reform. from civil service reform to procurement reforms to many, many other areas. He is trying very hard to improve Bayelsa and make Bayelsa one of the leading states in Nigeria. We have no doubt that Bayelsa is PDP and PDP is Bayelsa.
So,
has any other party ruled
No.
Bayelsa State?
No.
Will anything change on Saturday?
No.
I beg una. Una no say we get experience for Edo. On Saturday, when you go out to vote, after voting, do not leave until they count your vote. Una hear?
Yes,
The only way they can try anything is by rigging. Make sure they do not rig in your polling units. After you vote, stay there, let them count your vote, declare your vote, let your agent take the picture of the results and post it. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
By the grace of God, we are going to come back here after Saturday to celebrate. PDP!
Power to the
PDP!
Power to the
Bayelsa, congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, the governor of Edo State, speaking on behalf of the governors, and of course they were all here in solidarity. Your Excellency, the governor of Edo State, you are right. In Bayelsa State, there is no break in transmission. May I at this point respectfully invite to also speak the National Vice Chairman, South of the People's Democratic Party, Chief Dan Obi. Please, other executive members, accompany him as he comes. A round of applause for him. Bayelsa Ado.
Yeah.
PDP!
Power to the people.
Power to the people!
PDP.
Power to the youth!
PDP.
Power to our women!
PDP.
Power to our leaders!
PDP.
Your Excellency, the acting national chairman of our great party, Your Excellency, our governors who are here in their numbers. Let me at this point adopt the already established protocols. Your Excellency, the national chairman of our party, about 2 weeks ago, I was in Bayelsa for about 2 days. At the end of my visit, I went back to Abuja and I reported to the national chairman and members of the National Working Committee that my observation with what I saw in Bayelsa is that come Saturday, our hard-working, amiable governor of Bayelsa State will be re-elected as the governor of this state.
Now so.
So, I'm here to join the chairman of the campaign council to welcome you to Bayelsa State, the home of PDP. Welcome to the South Zone, the zonal headquarters of PDP in Nigeria. So, on Saturday, we expect all of you to go out. As you go, vote for the re-election of our dear governor, hardworking, ever ready to provide solutions to the problems of this state, Governor Doye Diri. On Doye Diri, we stand. God bless all of you.
PDP! Power to Doye. Power to the people! PDP! Aisha!
Yeah.
Excellencies, very respected, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, we are here because we have a good leader who has made all of us proud as a people. Doyegri, as you all know him, is a man who took over the baton of leadership from Henry Serake Dixon, and is running a very good race, isn't it? Now so. Why do I say so? All the projects Henry Serake Dixon and the restoration government started and they couldn't finish, Doyedri is continuing with all of them. Not be so? Yes, Diri. Today, most of us can sleep with our two eyes closed. Not be so? Yes, Diri. And we all know that without peace and security, development cannot take place. Not be so? Yes, Diri. And today, Bayelsa is ranked as one of the most peaceful states in the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Are we also not that the 3 senatorial roads that will take us safely to our respective senatorial by road are also ongoing? Is it? That's so. Confirmation. And because of the communities that said that who can drive their cars to their community, and we are no longer suffering the menace of sea pirates and all whatnot. Not be so? Not so. Doyedri is a man with good intention. Oyibo man talk say, man will get good intention, now they make promise. And the man will get good character, now they fulfill a promise. And Doyedri, all of us know, the man will get good intention and he get good character. All the things he promise us, they do. Not be so? Not so. Not be so? Not so. We're going to clap for him. Today, so many empowerment programs are taking place. Our youth have been empowered with various skills. Our youth have been empowered with various skills. And people are learning trades. They are becoming self-employed and they are employing other people. Not be so? Not so. Your Excellencies, before I yield the microphone to my co-MC, I also want to inform us the other side is closed down. I'm told some of their big have defected and they are also here with us. The people from the Silver Bounce Back Campaign Group, Honorable Adeni Negbe, Meremumbio, Dr. Michael Beke, Dr. Palewe Zikena Cletus, and all the coordinators from the 8 local government areas and the 105 wards, and co-coordinators and 500 members of the group across the 8 local government areas of Bayelsa State have all defected back to the PDP. Not be so? Not so. Not be so? Not so. Any other party there for Bayelsa State? No. Not be PDP there? Only PDP. We're going to clap for ourselves. PDP. For want of time, I would have said a lot more about the achievements of our governor. But for want of time, I'm sure I will have the opportunity to say more. For now, I'd like to hand over the microphone to the National Publicity Director, who is going to take the next item on the program. Honor, thank you. Honor, thank you. Bayelsa to Ado. Yeah. Ado, clap for yourselves. Clap for yourselves. Wave your flags. Wave your flags. Wave your flags. We don't win. Wave your flags. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ebi. PDP.
Power to the people.
Power to the people.
PDP.
The last but not the least speeches will come from a man who rose from the ranks of political leadership and became the vice presidential candidate of our great party in this 2023, immediate past governor of Delta State, His Excellency Dr. Ato Okowa. Ifeanyi Ato Okowa will be sending his solidarity speech. Your Excellency, sir.
The Ekweme one.
PDP!
Power to the people.
PDP.
Power to the people.
Your Excellency, the acting national chairman of our great party, Your Excellency, governors of our various states, our party leaders, both from Abuja and our leaders here in Bayelsa State. But most importantly, our PDP leaders in Bayelsa State, our women and our youths, I greet you now well. One thing that makes me very happy, and I must thank you and congratulate all of you, is that you are going into this election a united family. Because coming here, not just seeing the governor and his deputy, but seeing the immediate past governor and seeing big wigs like Alaibe and many others, I'm impressed because the family of the PDP is intact, and we know that as long as we go into the election with this family intact, victory definitely is very sure. So I must thank all of you followers, because many times it's the followers that make the leaders to divide. But because the followers have kept faith with the party and the leaders have decided to lead together, we now have a united party. We cannot say the same about the other parties that are in the election. So I want to congratulate our leaders and to thank you for what I see today. Secondly, I have been to Bayelsa State severally, and I know that the governor that we have, Governor Senator Doediri, is a humble man. And a humble man will never get it wrong. He's a man who stands for peace, and once you have peace and you're focused, and you're also working with your leaders, you'll find that you're able to cause the people to prosper. I have been to this state severally, and since 1999 to date, Yenogwa has changed, and a lot parts of Bayelsa has truly changed. In fact, some of us get jealous when we see the level of development in Bayelsa State. And I must thank all the leaders here. It shows that government is continuing from one person to the other, and everybody is focused. And I thank all of you. What is needed of you? As for the votes, you will win. But you must go out there on Saturday to defend your very votes. You will win the election, but we must ensure that we defend the vote, not only at the point of the polling unit, but through all the levels of coalition. Fear nobody. Do what is right. Keep your eyes open. And people, they talk and say, shine your everywhere, shine your eye. Keep your eyes focused and follow your votes, follow everything through all the levels of coalition. And we shall rejoice by the time has come. May God bless you as you go to mobilize, to cast your votes and to defend your vote. God is with you, and God bless all of you. Congratulations, my brother.
Thank you, the
Thank you, Your Excellency, sir. Senator Dr. Ifeanyi Atokowa.
Power to the
Power
people.
to the people.
PDP.
We have come to the crescendo of this event. We will now listen to the acting national chairman of our great party bringing his keynote remarks. This event is a two-cap event. Presentation of flag to the governor and the continuing governor, and also the grand finale of all rallies. May I humbly invite to the microphone, with other members of the National Working Committee, Ambassador Ilya Umar Damago, our national chairman. A round of applause, please.
Your Excellencies, Executive Governors here present, members
the National Assembly and my members of the National Working Committee, let me stand on the already established protocol. Bayelsa State, as we all know, is a PDP state. PDP had done so much to Bayelsa State as well. They have produced a president of this country, so I feel it is time to consolidate what the PDP had done to your state. Apart from the numerous development that has been enumerated here by various speakers, there's one thing that most states have yearned for that have not gotten, but by the grace of God, you have had a taste of it. That's the presidency of this country. So you should be grateful to PDP, and the only way you will show that gratitude is to vote PDP all the way. We made a mistake sometimes back. Made a mistake sometimes back and brought someone that has not allowed the state to see peace. By the grace of God, with the benevolence of His mercy, we were able to take back our mandate through our various governors that have come to bring peace to Bayelsa, peace and development. Let me remind you that same problem is staring at your face. But you will take your destiny into your hands on Saturday by making sure that all times that you have always sleeping with two eyes, you know, when you are saying sleeping with two eyes, it means you are not sleeping at all. So you take your destiny into your hand and make sure that both Doediri, who has done so much and has attested to the fact that he has done so much by the presence of all the governors from the South, including those that are coming from outside, and the presence of his predecessors, like someone has enumerated that all PDP leaders are here. And I'm happy to announce to you that our leader, who has been so good to this country, who has stabilized this country during his reign, has also endorsed this movement. So you should all thank your God that you have such kind of leaders that see through to make sure that the best comes for you people. I want to use this opportunity to call on His Excellency Governor Doediri and present him with the beautiful plaque that is full of success. Our flag symbolizes success, development, prosperity. Before I present the flag, I want to use this opportunity also to urge all of us to stand up and observe a minute silence for our departed national woman leader, Professor Ato Stella. Rest in peace. Amen. By the powers conferred on me, I hereby present to you this symbol of our great party, symbol of development, symbol of prosperity, symbol of peace. By the grace of God, a success to be recorded on Saturday.
Amen.
Amen.
Karigo, karigo, dayadiri, karigo. Karigo, dayadiri, karigo. Karigo, karigo, PDP, oh, karigo. Karigo, karigo, PDP, oh, karigo. Karigo, karigo, didi laras, karigo. Karigo, karigo, PDP, karigo. Yeba. Thank you.
Okay. I will now call on your brand new governor come Saturday, God willing, to hear all the goodies he is going to consolidate come the next 4 years. His Excellency.
Aye, yo, yo, yo. Doyo diri kare mama. Ay mara mabida ka. Abo diri kare mama. Ay 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 ay. Amara maido. Amara maido. Doyo diri kare mama. Doyo diri kare mama. Thank you. Power to the people. Power to the people.
Power to our beautiful women. Power to our gallant youths. Power to our elders. Power to Bayelsa. Ado. Ado. Anua. Your Excellency, the former Senate President and Chairman of our Board of Trustees. You know you are an Ijaw man, and when we do this, you understand. Come and greet your Ijaw people and do it with them.
You too much.
Your Excellency, our governor, in continuity, come 11th of this month. He's up. He's up. He's up. I rise to speak on behalf of the Board of Trustees of this great party. And of course, a lot has been said already. I endorse all that has been said here today. But I've just come here to thank you all because victory is already ours. But like the governor of Edo State said, we must watch our votes. We shouldn't go to bed. Sam Mbakwe of blessed memory said, first foolish, na foolish. Second foolish, na proper foolish. We should not be foolish the second time. We must watch our votes until it is announced. On behalf of the Board of Trustees, I want to be the first to congratulate Governor Doyo-Diri for his victory come 11th of November 2023. Thank you so much. Thank you, my leader. Now, hold on, let me invite another illustrious Izo son and our leader, who is the immediate past chairman of our party at the national level, the one we call Total Chairman. Secondus, former chairman. Come on.
If you vote it, you go see better. Vote it, you go see better.
Thank you. Please. And all this is the home of PDP. This is the home that produced the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Will you disappoint PDP?
No.
Will you disappoint PDP?
No.
Will you vote for Doye Diri?
Yes.
Thank
yes,
God.
Diri.
My message and appeal today is the authorities in Abuja, both securities and INEC. The country is tense. They must be aware. The only thing that can cool this country is to conduct free and fair election. And Bayelsa, Kogi, Imo will determine quite a lot moving forward. And therefore, the security agencies must be at alert. The IG and the rest of them to stop bandits and to stop hijackers of election materials. If this is done, you will begin to experience peace in our nation. Please, our Bayelsa brothers and sisters, come out in mass. Stand at your polling units and vote and defend your vote. The former president of our country, President Goodluck Jonathan, has endorsed Doye Diri. And all the Ijaw nation, Ijaw is not just in one state. Ijaw is in 7 states and it's a nation. We are all collectively supporting Doye Diri and his deputy to return. Thank you and God bless.
Thank you, Total Chairman. Thank you. He has given us victory.
I will lift him higher.
Jehovah,
I will lift him higher.
He has given us victory.
I will lift him higher.
Jehovah,
I will lift him higher.
oh, He has given us victory.
I will lift him higher.
Jehovah,
I will lift him higher.
oh, He has given us victory.
I will lift him higher. Jehovah,
Oh, He has given us victory.
I will lift him higher. Jehovah, I will lift him
Arwe,
Arumi di late o. Doye Diri ko gbọdọ mi, Arumi di late o. Ase Doye Diri ko gbọdọ mi, Arumi di late o. Aise Saraki di ko gbọdọ mi, Arumi di late o.
pay the pay.
So the people.
Power to the people. I stand here on behalf of the government of prosperity, my deputy governor, and all of our leaders in Bayelsa. First of all, to appreciate and thank our leaders.